Hello, I'm Carolina, and today I'm going to talk to you about injuries. So, quite often I get asked, I'm not an athlete and I have an injury, can you help? Or can you help? But I don't really know what's happened, I just have neck pain or back pain. Is sports therapy something that can help me? So, I will talk to you about this from a professional's point of view. So we see injuries in two types: overuse or onset injuries and traumatic injuries. So this is irrelevant to whether you are an athlete or you are someone with an 8-hour desk job that exercises 3 or 4 times a week. So an onset injury is something that comes over the time. It develops during weeks, months or even years. And by the time you experience pain, you have probably been doing the kind of thing that is triggering that injury. So the underlying causes of that pain have been there for quite a while. The traumatic injury, on the other hand, is something where you can pinpoint when it happened, where it happened, and how it happened. So you will tell me, this is what happened, and since then I haven't been quite right, or I've been experiencing pain. And this can be during a football match, or it could be while you've been plastering and you rolled over your ankle and then you had this injury. So bearing this in mind, I hope that gives a more clearer understanding of how we see injuries. What makes a difference on whether you're an athlete or not is when we come to think on what is it that you have been doing to trigger this pain. Is it your technique while running or while swimming? Or on the other hand, with a not so sporty person or not a full-time athlete, is it your posture while at desk, or is it the increase of training? So this is how it differs from someone who is an athlete and someone who isn't. I hope that makes sense to you. And in the other stage that we come to look at the difference on what you do is on your rehab process. So is on what we can do to prevent you from having that injury again, and how can we get you back to do what you used to do, right? So this is when we have to think, okay, if you're an athlete, then your rehab program will be a lot more specific and it will be targeted for what we need on you performing that particular sport. So we're bearing in mind that you're doing this probably 8 hours a week. If you're running about 80 miles a week. So we need you to be able to do very, very specific things. Whereas it's very different to when I have a full-time job, a desk job. I have 2 toddlers at home that I have to be picking up, and I need to be able to go to the gym 3 times a week. So it doesn't mean that I need less care or less attention, or that my program is not as carefully made, but it's just the needs are different. So I need to be able to perform in a different way for different things. So this is how we plan your rehab program, and this is how we do things differently. But in terms of the injury, yes, we can help you whether you are a professional athlete and you have very specific goals, or we can help you whether you are a member of the general public, a mom, a grandmother, and then you have to exercise 3 and 4 times a week. It all varies, and the difference on us treating you is the way we meet your personal needs. So I hope this makes things a lot clearer for you. And maybe it's an insight that it may seem pretty obvious to us as professionals, but you may see differently as a client, and you may think, okay, a sports massage or an assessment, is that really for me? I'm not a sporty person, or I am, but am I enough? And I hope this solves your questions. Okay, see you next. Bye.